Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome to you all, divine devotees, aspiring learners of the spiritual world and of the latest of the Vedanta. I know many would think about that the Vedantic knowledge is like too technical, too bookish. And let's face something, why can't we, without the book, just attain oneness? And through the practices, it should kind of by itself happen to us like a natural flower, natural fruit growing. The beauty part of it is, you notice, let's talk about the metamorphosis. In a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, a beautiful butterfly was a little worm inside the cocoon. But that stay in the cocoon, that staying silently working out in stillness. Scientists went ahead and did experiments by breaking the cocoon before the caterpillar itself had made its way through the cocoon and broke its shell by itself. Instead of by itself, scientists helped it to break. The caterpillar did become a butterfly, but with a very weak wings. It couldn't fly very well, and it did fly. It was weak and soon enough to die. Whereas the Himalayan mountain eagles, they have their eaglets in the top of the mountain at a dangerous precipice where nobody could climb there. And they have it, no other things can go in and attack that little eaglings coming out of the egg. But notice one thing, look at the caterpillar with the cocoon and the butterfly with the simile of the eaglets. They come out, they're totally blind. All they can hear and make out with the vibration of the mother's wing. The food is to come, and they open their mouth, either still blind, and progressively it opens in about 6 weeks of time. Mother comes and puts food in the mouth. And the eaglets continue to grow, and it grows its wing and becomes stronger. Mother knows when. And you know what does the mother do? At the right time, mother pushes the eaglet off the ledge. It's a ledge. The eaglet could have fallen down and died, and all of them died, but they don't. The instinctive guidance of the nature prevents them to stay in. Possibly one or two maybe die, because I have seen sometimes some chick falling off in our homely nest, birds falling off from there, whatever the reason was. I don't know whether it was invaded by a snake or something, that's why it fell down. Another bird came down and poked it to fall down. I don't know the reason, but I do find sometimes some chick has fallen down and died. Eaglets may have one or fallen down, but majority of them, the eagle mother knows when to push the baby. And the eaglet falls. It doesn't know how to fly. And it falls and falls, and it is shrieking. Must be saying, mother, mother, mother. And it falls and falls and falls. And suddenly it sees the earth hurtling upwards. And it shrieks and spread its wing, and it knows how to fly, and soon enough to join mother right up in the sky. It becomes another great eagle. Now the simile over here for you and I to learn that this being still are 4 ways given down to us. One is Daso Bhav, Sakha Bhav, Prabhu Bhav, Arjuna Krishna Sakha, Vatsalya, baby Krishna, baby Jesus, or the mother and I am the child, father and the child, and the Lord and the Guru, Adi Guru, and I am the disciple. This is one called the Bhakti. You notice that when we sit down for meditation, mind is like a torrent, is gushing us here and there and just can't sit still. Body is not being still, can't sit still. Why is it? Because of the impurities of mind. So what do you do now? Impurities of mind, do purification through Karma Yoga. Work for other people. Beautiful time, COVID-19, lots of people are suffering, and even if they're not suffering, you know that is the likely cause. Help the community. You take precautions, all of them, which you're supposed to, as everybody knows now, wash your hand, social distancing, wear the mask, and take precautions. But help out the other people. Karma Yoga, selfless act without expecting anything. And soon enough you would see that we do things only because it makes us happy. And why does it make us happy? We will just come back to it in a little while from now. But it should not be so in the Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is a selfless act without expecting anything. And then practice Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga is the supreme Kriya Yoga is in our life. One of the lady monk in Ramakrishna Mission, when the mother of Swapnadeep Toton approached, the mother came to know and told the lady monk, senior lady in the Ramakrishna Mission, that he was practicing Kriya Yoga. And the lady monk said, oh. The mother of Swapnadeep naturally said, what is it? She said, you see, when the Kriyaban Yogi comes to know that my body, because of whatever it is, has become weak and I cannot do Kriya Yoga, they may choose to leave the body. So possibly that is the reason why he has chosen to leave the body. Kriya Yoga, swalpam apayasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Babaji is telling, Krishna has told Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, Babaji is telling the disciple. Paramahansa Yogananda is telling, slightest of the thing, if you practice just a little bit, you will attain an eye of divine love. And you will see the whole world is transformed into love, that power of the Kriya Yoga. And we have that supreme of the supreme Raja Yoga, 108 types of Raja Yoga, of which the supreme is the Kriya Yoga. We have that with us. And you all are that Kriyaban Yogi. I would also recommend that this Yoga, the Satsang, has come out with some beautiful booklets. You have to apply for it and please get it. And those of you who've been practicing and have fulfilled certain conditions of a certain Kriya Yoga status, you could go ahead for stage 2, 3, 4 and 5, and YSS would certainly clear you. Just by the way, coming back to it, and then with the Kriya Yoga, the Raja Yoga, it's called the Jnana Yoga. You must know, if I just want to practice, I have a problem with the TV show. So what do? Change the channel. Or switch off the TV, pull out the plug. That is the yogic system. With the supreme of the Kriya Yoga, couple it with the Jnana Yoga knowledge. What do? Instead of pulling out the plug, switching off the TV, changing the channel, now it is just a movie. Now, instead of getting disturbed by it, what you would do is possibly give that television director or the movie director an Oscar award because of the heightness of the suspense or the horror or whatever, the Godzilla or King Kong breaking down the Empire Tower. You say, wow, you enjoy it now. We are telling all the time, Aham Brahmasmi, Main hi Brahma hu. Non-duality is Advaita, is what we're practicing, right? But non-duality does not mean that in this samsara, which is right around us, you are saying, come on, you are one, you're one consciousness. It is so difficult for us to start to think, I am only one. How can it be? I have my husband, my wife, my children, my parent, my office, my colleagues, my friends, the men out there and the women out there and the world out there and the dolphin and the dogs and the mountain and the fish and the ocean and the forest. How can I suddenly say I'm one and all the universe cannot be experienced without my consciousness? So everything is one. It's cool to say, it's difficult to comprehend. So what is Vedanta saying? What is Vivekananda said? Vivekananda said, enjoy the duality too. Enjoy the duality. Enjoy being in the samsara. Enjoy being in love. But this love is not expecting, add karma yoga to it. Selfless love. I love you because I like you who you are. I love to learn from you. I am not finding faults with you. We always are trying to fault finding, whether we speak it or we don't speak it. You know the story of Dhruva star, pole star, 5-year-old boy, son of a king, first wife Aditi, second wife Suruchi. Aditi, very calm, very quiet, very peaceful, very loving, very caring. And king was deeply in love with her. Then he married Suruchi. Suruchi is very pretty, very angry type, very smart looking and got a lot of attractive mannerisms. King fell in love and king was living most of the time with Suruchi. Suruchi also gave birth to a boy. Now, Suruchi's son was sitting on king's lap and Dhruva, 5-year-old, came running and said, Father, 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 I also want to sit on your lap. Suruchi happened to be there. Aditi was living in a small palace. As Suruchi came with an angry face, pulled away Dhruva. If you were my son, you could have sat on king's lap. You are Aditi's son. You cannot sit on father's lap. Next birth, come back as my son to sit on your father's lap. Dhruva tried to say, but mother, he is my father. He said, no, only my son will sit there, my son will take the kingdom. Though her son was much younger than Dhruva. Dhruva was heartbroken. Dhruva went ahead, sad, and went running to mother Aditi. Aditi knew immediately. She sat on her knee and hugged Dhruva and said, Dhruva, do not be taken by your biological father and biological mother. Have your wisdom and you pray and meditate for your supreme father and the supreme mother, Param Brahma. You pray to him. He will never forsake you. And Dhruva being Dhruva, Dhruv listened to mother and took mother's permission, and mother left him at Tapovan. As he was going towards Tapovan, Rishi Narad, Maharishi Narad Muni, she was passing by, and he came and he said, "What are you doing, young boy, 5-year-old here? Possibly you've lost your way. Come on, let me take you to your mother." He said, "No, sir. I am here to do meditate, to become one with Lord. I want to be one with God." And Narad Muni, being Maharishi, understood immediately the background, and he said, okay. He gave a Taraka mantra, and he said, "You do this japa mantra and practice meditation." And Dhruva, the story goes on, the way he practiced was unbelievable. A 5-year-old boy continued, and very soon the Lord himself came down. And he said, "I'm pleased with your meditation, pleased with your Taraka mantra and the japa. Please go ahead and ask what you want." Dhruva said, "Please forgive my mother Suruchi," not his own mother. He said, "That Suruchi mother who did this, forgive her and forgive my father. I am not interested in the kingdom. I want to be with you." The Lord said, "No, you have a task in the kingdom, to bring up the kingdom for which you are born as the king's son. But when you finish, I give you a boon. You will be the star which will never lose its place, and everyone will worship you and stare at you." And Dhruv star is utilized by world over today for navigation. It is the Great Bear is connected to the pole star. Beautiful story of the Dhruv. This is called the power from within. That is the Jnana Yoga, the understanding. So once you know what it is, and you practice Raja Yoga with the Karma Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga, combine all 4 of them. In this, it reminds me of, there is a beautiful statement: the deeper the root, taller is the tree. And the human life is considered in the ancient Shastras as an inverted tree with the root upwards and the trunk and the branches below. What it means is the root in the normal tree outside, what we see is down there. We cannot see the root. It's underneath. You and I cannot see what is within us, which is the root. And the deeper the root, the taller would be the tree. The more successful you would be, the more powerful you would be. During this, let's say, the pandemic, COVID situation, everybody is suffering, either from fear or from the suffering. Some are dying, some are suffering, recovering. But this is all from that fear and the anxiety and the little, you can't even see it with an eye, and it's playing up such havoc in our life. Hey, what happened to that Sat Chit Ananda in you and me? We have lost connection. Why? You know why? Because I was just reflecting. Notice, what are we doing right from childhood? We're just learning various skills, learning various outside knowledge in books, and picking up maths and science and art and various skills and engineering and doctoring and computer science and things like that, and making our life. It is what? Outside. Earning money and making our living higher and better and things like that. But we are forgetting in this the journey within. And this is the journey is called the spiritual journey. The root within is the spiritual journey. You look at all the countries in the world, each country has an USP. USP. Selling proposition, ultimate selling proposition. America has liberty. England has royalty. Japan has what? Technical superiority. Let's say Middle East has the black dollar. Let's say Singapore has a method of life. Everybody in Singapore has to go for 5 years of training in the military. And they have to, so they build up a certain rigid, beautiful way of disciplined life. India too has. What does India have? Think. India knows, an Indian, when the shampoo is over, most Indians would put little water in it, shake it and use it still before it throws it off. When the toothpaste is finished, it will carry on, twist and turn it till the last drop is taken onto the toothpaste and utilized. When your t-shirt is got a little hole, can't wear it outside, you will use it for sleeping at night. And if it gets even bigger hole, you will use it for wiping the floor or cleaning the utensils or wiping them. We know how to save and utilize them and not waste. No, but that is in a mockery, in a joking way. India is famous for Himalaya. People all over the world come down to India to learn yoga. India is famous, brought in for yoga. India is famous for art, for sculpture, for variety of life. India is famous for democracy. And most important of all, India is famous for spirituality. And that is the root. How long are we going to keep on sleeping? We have heard the clarion call. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Chadaibati, Chadaibati. Arise and awake and stop not. Sure, go ahead and enjoy the duality. But what about enjoying the calmness, the peace, and this tranquility the moment you pick it up? You may have a beautiful poem. I keep often using for the mothers. Caskets of jewel and coffers of gold you may have, but richer than I you can never be, but because I have a mother who reads to me. I'm talking about, you may have money, property, great name and fame, but till you have a bonding, selfless relationship of giving to the people around, your relatives, your wife, your husband, your children, your parent, without expecting anything, to the people around, that bonding of love, till the time you have that, a fulfilling relationship, you can never be richer. And this richness is that spirituality brings it to you. We may feel apparent calmness, apparently peaceful, but it is elusive. It doesn't last long. Till you become it, being, Sat, Chit, become. These are not just bookish knowledge. Certainly, if I have to learn German, I have to go to a German teacher. I have to have respect, Shraddha for the teacher. And then only when he tells me, I will listen to it. I may understand nothing, but I will say, I'm not understanding it, but I have respect. I'm going to continue to try. And soon enough, I'll break the barrier and I will learn. Everybody in the world does. Why not me? Similarly, thousands of years India has laid behind this beautiful knowledge. We must embrace it, all of them. Bhakti, Karma, Raja, Jnana, all four yogas. And let's embrace it with our simplicity, with purity of truth, purity of giving, of kindness, of caring, of selfless love. How can it be that you will be suffering? Not possible. Because your Sat existence, your Chit consciousness will bring you to the Ananda, which is all within. I'll just explain how with a little example. Have you realized today what we like? Understand this is from Vidyaranya. What we like them because it gives us happiness. And what we don't like, it because it doesn't give us happiness. Rule 1. Rule 1, what we like because it gives us happiness. What we don't like, or whoever we don't like, people we don't like, it because it doesn't give us happiness. Rule 2, what we love and what we like, what gives us happiness, we try to hold on to them. We don't like to part with it. And Indian mothers, especially I know, Bengali mothers, and must be there are many other mothers too. There is an Argentine monk who said, he happened to come down to India and was practicing, and he said, I find the Bengali mothers, the Jewish mothers and Italian mothers, they really possess their children and don't want to let them go out and grow. We love to hold on to something that we love and not let go. And what we don't like, what we don't love, we like to discard them. Rule 2. Like me to go over it again? What we love because we like them. And what we love, we like to hold on to them. What we don't like, we don't love, we like to discard them, throw them away. Okay? Now the rule 3, Vidyaranya is giving a beautiful surprise. He said, have you noticed nobody wants to die? You say, no, I don't agree with you. Some people are committing suicide. Yes, they're committing suicide. Why? Because they're frustrated with a condition in their life. Maybe money, maybe terrible relationship, maybe insulting father, mother, father-in-law, mother-in-law, maybe ditching up the girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, something. A condition of life. Maybe sickness. I want to kill myself. I don't want to suffer from this pain. If you can change that condition, then he doesn't want to die. Why should he want to die? Nobody wants to die. Why? Notice, what is dying? Dying is discarding this me. Correct? What I don't like, I like to discard. The rule 1 and 2. And what I love, I like to hold on. Because we don't want to die, the rule 3 says, because we love ourselves. Look, we love our job. Why? Because it gives us money. We love money. And because job gives us money, we like to work more, we become workaholic, we work more and more. Why? Because it gives us money, and in terms of fame and name, because we got money. Now, why do we love money? Because money buys things which my wife, my husband, my children love, my parents love, my friends love. I buy it to give it to them. Why do I love money? Because I can buy and give it to them. And why do I give it to them? Because they feel happy. And I feel happy when I see them happy. Notice, I feel happy has come down to that inner happiness. It's my happiness. Sounds gory, terrible, but it's the truth. And that's why we don't like to die. We like to hold on to ourselves. So, the rule 3 tells us, I love, let's say, my child's toy. Why do I love that toy and I take care of it? All mother, fathers carefully do it. Children have left it and gone because they finished playing. But we try to keep it properly. Why? Because I love that toy's owner, which is my son, my daughter. I keep it properly. And so when he grows up, she will know how to take care. So notice, I love that toy because of the child. Because that child will find that toy tomorrow and will be happy. And if the ball or the marble is missing, he's going to be miserable. I make sure it is kept quietly. Again, for what? It gives me in turn indirectly happiness. So all things are leading to that happiness, that ananda, which is Sat Chit Ananda within. Now, you can see my hand. Why? Because the light is falling on it. If my hand wasn't here, like Halley's Comet, I don't know if you are aware, Halley's Comet, the tail which is seen, the light, it is not its own light. It is the light of the sun which reflects on the particles of the Halley's Comet. Same way, you notice this, there is this light is on, the air condition is on, the camera is on, the computer is on, the fan is on, something which is making, this bulb was lying in the shop, it wasn't glowing there, but my technician brought the bulb and put it in and switched it on, something came. That's called the electricity. You and I know that. That electricity makes the computer work, the mobile work, the air condition work, the fan go round and round and round. And you can, through the digital technology today, hear me, see me from distance. That electricity, you have to have charged mobile or charged computer. That electricity is the essential component. This is what the knowledge of the ancient masters is. The consciousness within is giving us the experience. What is that experience? I experience this book. How? Book is an object. An experience is the object plus consciousness. So if you are not conscious, if you are in coma, you cannot hear me, see me. This reason for me not to kill myself is because I'm happy. It's very difficult for us to leave the world and go away when we know we are going to die. And because we are Kriya Yogi, we are getting detachment progressively. Possibly we will be fearless by then. And that is the first part of the spirituality is Abhay with 4 A's. Remember, Abhay, Ahimsa, Ahimsa, Asanga. Totally detached, like the sunlight. Falling on a dirty something on the road, it is not affected. You, as a Jnani, as a Karma Yogi, as a Bhakta Yogi, as a Raja Yogi, is detached, like the sunlight. If it falls on a pitcher of wine or a beer or whiskey, the light doesn't get drunk. Nor does the light become holy if it falls on the holy river Ganga. Just like this light is Asanga, we are that Asanga Asmin. Satchidananda Asmin. This detachment gives us that connection with the self because of the consciousness. This electricity is the consciousness. Now, understanding this consciousness within when we are connected through the help of 4 Yoga and the most importantly the knowledge with the blessings of the Guru, that is Bhakta, with the unattached karma for the family members, seeing God in each one of them, in my wife, in my husband, in my children, in my parent, and in my office staff and the poor, destitute, the dog and the plant, I become like the sunlight, Asanga. When this happens, you become like the river Ganga, the holy river in India, and Hindus consider it to be holiest of the holy river. Notice, starting from a little trickle, all the way down from the glaciers in Himalaya, Gangotri, through the Gomukhi, and from there, joining up with Alaknanda and Bhagirathi, becoming a torrential rain by the time it comes to Rudraprayag, Devaprayag, and Rishikesh and Lakshmanjula and Haridwar, and it goes through the plains of India and joins the ocean. But look at the initial part. If you have traveled and had a look at the Gangotri, either through computer or physical journey, the river Mother Ganga is never giving up. Why? Because Mother has one purpose: to join the ocean. Yours and my journey with the deep root within of spirituality is to join that self luminous. And when you do that, COVID-19 is nothing. Little bit of financial loss is nothing. Little bit of sickness of the body is nothing. That the body is suffering. Mano buddhi chitta ahankar na aham, Shankaracharya is telling. I'm beyond that. And this is the journey happens. That enlightenment, like the river Mother Ganga, comes in within. When the root is within, the whole world is searching for it. The Westerners all over the world, and the Japanese and the Chinese, they're coming to India. Koreans, they're coming to India to learn Indian spirituality. You go to Rishikesh, Lakshmanjula, Himalayas, you find many. They want to learn. And you and I are not wanting to, because we have got the saddest part is the Western influence of the British education and Americanize the world and the Netflix and the mobile. I'm not saying don't have money. I'm not saying don't watch. I'm saying watch it with a knowing it's only a play. It's only a movie. It's only a dream. When you become aware is only when you get deeply connected with it, and that is called Abhyasa Yoga, without missing it once. So what is Vivekananda saying? I was amazed at one. I would like you all to see this book, The Turning Point, Vivekananda, The Turning Point. This book, in which page 600, you know what it is talking about? Frederick Mayer, 1897, he became the Director General, Frederick Mayer, till 1987, till 1990, I stand corrected, 1978 to 1992. He was the Director General, one of the longest Director General. And Frederick Mayer is talking in this particular, he's being quoted in the book, that I am shocked. 1945, when UNESCO formed, and Vivekananda talked in 1891, about 50 years before, in Chicago World Conference. And then in don't worry about the dates, but understand the enormity of the message. 1893 he gave a talk. 1897 he started Ramakrishna Mission with objectives of the mission. The first objective, universality of religion and oneness in all. Look at everyone as one. The second objective is take care of the destitutes and the poor and those who are suffering. And the third objective is educate the women folk of the country. Until and unless you take care of the woman, you can never do anything real. So you and I need to know that one thing understand from here. These three principles, Frederick Mayer is saying that in 1945, when UNESCO was started with the world's top people joining up for the welfare of the world, UNESCO formed. You know what? Frederick Mayer in 1987 is saying, I'm shocked to see that UNESCO made their objective the same three. They must be having some more, I don't know. But he says, I'm shocked, and this is what is being quoted by Frederick Mayer. And you and I know so little. What is Vivekananda saying? Let me read it out. Vivekananda is talking about my mission in life can be put in a few words. It is to teach into humanity their inner divinity. Vivekananda is saying few words. Teach into humanity, teach into you and me the inner divinity and express the divinity outwards. My greatness as being human being, root within. We must express it to our children, to our husband, to our wife, to our parent, to our children, to the neighbor, to the country, to the world. And he says, manifest it, second part, in every moment of our life. That divinity expression. Not vile, not temper, not anger, not jealousy, not greed, not small-mindedness, not pettiness, not grabbing and selfishness, the biggest I. Notice, iPhone, Apple, Mac. I'm just joking. That I is the biggest selfish word. And this is the I saying, not the I, make it you. Express the divinity in that you. In this divinity, expressing, enjoy the duality. Famous statement, if you run up to and headlong jump into the samsara and get immersed into those tidbits, Vivekananda told the world, you've missed the boat. And if you leave the samsara and run off to the mountain and die over there meditating and thinking I'm going to attain God, you've missed the boat too. So what is he saying then? Staying in the samsara is not good. Going out to the Himalaya is not good. Then what am I supposed to do? He says, divinize your life wherever you are. So let us, you and I, look within. It is the mind which is playing the game and tends to say, oh, this is all bookish or all knowledge. No, don't let the mind hoodwink us. Mind is like that wild elephant, needs training, sadhana. This is what makes us go off to sleep when we are trying to do meditation. So what? You know why it makes us go off to sleep? It's not your fault. It's because we are all so tired with the world outside. That the moment you find a little calmness of the beautiful breathing and the serene environment of your own home or of the place where we meditate, your calm mind wants to snooze off. It's all right. Soon enough you will get out of it and you will awaken. You will not move. You will sit still. Body will automatically, the mind will get connected. So let's take up the journey. Don't let the mind play tricks. So in Hindi mein they say, man ke paar chale jao. And there's a beautiful statement in the Himalayas. A great monk, he was about 92 years of age. He is no more now. He was there a few years ago. He used to say, tum mano ya nahi mano, tum jano ya nahi jano, tum hi Ram. You are that Ishvara God. Say, come on, let us embrace. Let me pray for the Supreme Divinity in you. May the Divine Mother, God and the Gurus bless us all. May Paramahansa Yogananda Yukteswar Giri Lahiri Mahasaya, may Babaji, Sri Sri Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu Maheshwara, may the Holy Mother, Divine Mother, may Swami Sri Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada, Paramahansa Ramakrishna bless us all to attain that oneness with the supreme wealth within. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Guru.